Kopp, manager of engineering applications in the IT world. Been with Joy Global company for almost 25 years.
And I'm Tracy Stefanski. I'm also at Joy Global and the PDM administrator, and I'll be there almost 2 years, well, exactly 2 years, November 4th.
Joy Global is an OEM for mining equipment for both surface applications and underground applications. Currently we have Adept only in the surface equipment side of the business, managing all of our SolidWorks data and release process. So the challenges that we had weren't necessarily with the data because we already had an existing PDM. Our challenges were the previous PDM before we purchased Adept wasn't up to speed with the CAD releases that we had in-house. So that was the main reason for looking for something else. We also struggled with users hanging on to duplicate copies of files within their work areas. So we saw how Adept used the virtual library and how users didn't have to maintain that. Those were some of the winning decisions that were easy for us to make from an Adept perspective and make that migration to it. The viewer was one of the things that we liked. The markup capabilities and how things are flagged inside of Adept were some of the things that we liked. We did use a scoring mechanism to identify what software solution we wanted to go with. Everything was weighted from a user perspective. They actually helped us make decisions. So that team was composed of about 20 people. The time to set it up wasn't very long for a couple of reasons. We did pilot Adept, so we knew what it was going to take to install. We knew some of the customizations that we wanted to do, so we had that underway. I think our time period from purchasing the software to getting it rolled out was probably less than 6 months. And a lot of the work we had to do was more our engineering release notification process had to get synced up with Adept because it wasn't in our scope to put the change process in Adept right away. So the amount of time that we spent in that 6 months, majority of it was trying to get synchronization with Lotus Notes. It started in engineering. I'll let Tracy answer the rest of it, but it definitely did start in engineering.
We've grown into where we have tech pubs is now accessing it. We work with the tooling department. They're saving files and making changes and making revisions to their things that they're using. Planning is our final step when we're releasing things. So they've been an integral part of working with Adept with us also. So when we're looking at doing things, we make sure we include them on talks about stuff like that.
We had a luxury there because the user group, the user community that was using Adept when we rolled it out was already accustomed to managing files in a PDM already. PDM has been in the engineering environment since the mid-90s. So the user community, their expectation was to have a PDM in place. They were involved in the selection of Adept, so they knew what the user interface was going to look like. They knew how the task pane integration was going to be there for SolidWorks. So those were all pluses. So the challenge for the user community was very small. It was a change, but they knew the change was coming and they were on board with it.
I would say it has to be with keeping track and being diligent about changes, revisions that are done. The user community has embraced the procedures as far as how they have to do it, what they have to do to rev something properly. They're finding, now that they need to pay more attention to things, how they're doing it, to make it, to make things gel properly for them.
Yeah, the design validation becomes real critical
Yeah.
in the file management side of things, especially from a SolidWorks perspective.
Exactly.
Extending Adept out to the parts of the organization is truly the next step. And it's been a slow process. We're working on that because obviously Adept can handle more than just managing SolidWorks. It can manage other documents as well as processes. And we're just starting to go down that path and exposing that value to other parts of the organization.
We're working with bills and bill of information basically now. And, Excel files, Word docs, PDFs, anything that's valid to a project.
Yeah. So vendor quotes are going in there, design calculations are going in there and related back to the SolidWorks files or design projects.
Right now, we've got collaboration going on with our Australia group and with some guys in our group from Canada. So we're doing two different collaborations, and by using the capabilities of shared work areas, we find that works out best for our security purposes, for our IP stuff. We don't want to have it be exposed to all the divisions, so we let them. We have we use the shared work areas to collaborate with different divisions to let them do the work, do the changes, but it's controlled by us here to sign the stuff back in and make sure it's good data going in.
The experience with Synergis has been very positive. When we initially rolled out Adept, we ended up having a server issue and we could not figure it out. Synergis came out with a server for us, put it into our data center, and helped us troubleshoot what the problem was. And once we had the opportunity to work on the server that Synergis provided to us, our issues had gone away. It did allow us to pinpoint what the problem was and resolve it. So based on that experience alone, no one has ever come to the table that way to make sure that we had a solution to the issue. And it was one that we created. It wasn't one that Synergis created, but they helped us through it.
Synergis has been the best company to work with as far as response time and with the ability and knowledge to help with issues that go on.
Yeah, the server issue for sure was something above and beyond what was expected from any software vendor. And again, Todd coming out and actually helping us put it in place and debugging what was going on with our current server. So yeah, that was above and beyond. Nobody's ever offered to do that for us. And that was done. I don't believe that we paid a penny for it. I think that you guys just came up to the plate and said, we got to get you guys right, and we're going to help you through it. So yeah, above and beyond for sure.